It's hard to believe, but last Thursday, Michael Jackson would have turned 55. Alive, the man known as the King of Pop had an extraordinary career, but he was also the King of Controversy. Tonight, his mother, Katherine Jackson, takes us inside the family compound, where she breaks her silence on the scandals that dogged her son, her granddaughter's attempted suicide, and now new allegations of child molestation. It is a heartfelt and at times difficult conversation with a mother who is still coming to terms with the loss of her son.
That was the worst day of my life. Never had that feeling before. And I never want to feel like that again.
Had you never feared this day would come?
Never thought this day would come. No.
How has it changed your life?
Well, I have 3 children. More.
You have three more children.
3 more children to raise.
Katherine Jackson's life changed the day her son died. She now takes care of Michael's children, Prince, Paris and Blanket. At 83, it is the last thing she expected to be doing. At your wonderful age,
Yes.
do you feel okay to be a mother again?
Yes. Yes. Today it's a little more difficult than it was in the day I raised my kids, because it's a little more harder because the world changed a lot. But it's not hard. But it's fine.
But what's not fine is that since her son's death, she's had to deal with plenty of controversy.
Guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
He sexually abused.
Michael's passing have caused problems in a lot of ways.
Oh, baby, give me one more chance. Won't you please let me?
What kind of child was he? What kind of little boy was he?
Michael, when he was young, he had a lot of energy, always moving around, never could sit still.
Of the Jacksons' 10 children, Michael was the 8th. And according to his mum, her son's first steps were more a dance than a walk. I noticed you said that he used to dance to the sound of the washing machine.
Yeah, well, that's when he was a baby.
Truly?
The rhythm of the washing machine, because it was a rickety old washing machine and made those rickety moves, sounds, and he started dancing to that.
Before long, Michael was a pivotal part of the Jackson 5.
I told him then, it's just a job. You're working. It's like everybody else. Don't let your head get too big. There's no room in this house for a big head.
That would have been a lot of big heads.
Wouldn't it?
But it was Michael who would become the family's star, winning 13 Grammys and producing the biggest-selling album of all time. Did you also see at that early stage what the attention might do to a young, impressionable boy like Michael?
No,
It's
I
difficult, isn't
didn't
it?
worry about that, though. Because Michael was a humble person, and that didn't even change him. Even till the day he died, he was still humble, and he knew he was a big star.
Sir, I need an ambulance as soon as possible, sir.
The world was reminded of just how big a star he was on June 25th, 2009.
We have a gentleman here that needs help and he's not breathing yet.
The day 50-year-old Michael Jackson died.
Yeah, but he's not responding to anything, so no. He's not.
On the day Michael died, where were you?
I came home, and their father called me, and he said, "Kat, you have to come down to the hospital." I went down, and nobody would say anything. Everybody was waiting for somebody else to tell me. And I saw Dr. Murray pacing, but I didn't know who he was. And I said, "Well, where's Michael? I want to go to his room. I want to go and visit him," you know. Nobody said anything. And then finally, in about 10 or 15 minutes later, they took me to a room, and nobody would say anything. So finally, I said, "Well, did he make it?" And I was screaming like, "Did he make it?" And Frank finally said slowly, "No, he didn't make it." I don't know what happened after that. I guess I must have blacked out or screamed or something, but that's what happened.
For Michael Jackson's children, the news was unbelievable.
They went back in that morgue where Michael was about 10 times when I was in that room. I couldn't go. And so when Latoya came, she kept going back there too. I said, "What are you all doing back there?" She said, "The children are hugging Michael and kissing him, and, you know, he was dead, but they were still doing that."
You didn't want to see Michael?
Not that way, no. I wanted to remember him when he was smiling and when he was alive.
And you have no regrets about that?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
How many grandchildren do you have?
I have 26 grandchildren, 11 great-grandchildren.
Wow. Katherine is now the custodian of the Jackson family. This is a lovely shot.
That's a shot of Blanket in Paris.
Where does Blanket get his name from?
When they brought him home, he was wrapped in a blanket, and the kids were saying, I remember, "Thank you, Daddy, for giving us a little brother." And he was wrapped in a blanket, and they started calling him Blanket. It doesn't sound so.
And she works hard at keeping the family grounded. For Michael's children, that's meant no more disguises. Did you worry at all that when they made public appearances they were wearing masks or
Well, I
something?
didn't like that part of it. That's why when Michael passed, I never put him on him.
Conrad Robert Murray, guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
Katherine Jackson has taken control of her terms with his death.
Dr. Murray became involved in a cycle of horrible medicine.
And the doctor jailed after giving Michael a lethal dose of the powerful anaesthetic propofol. I wanted to know how you felt about Conrad Murray, the man who is in jail.
I don't hate anybody, but I can't comment on that.
Katherine Jackson is choosing her words carefully
The final curtain call.
because she's taken out a $40 billion lawsuit against AEG, the entertainment company behind her son's comeback concert, This Is It.
This is it.
And while she'll only speak very generally, she believes AEG hired Dr. Murray and therefore must take some responsibility for Michael's death.
I love you all, and we're family. Just know that. We're a family.
People are so greedy, and people are stealing, and people are taking things from under you, that things that rightfully should be yours, and they're, you know, all that happens when people die, especially if a person, they think they got a lot of money.
Michael Jackson's death came after years of using painkillers, drugs Katherine Jackson says he was dependent upon but not addicted to.
He was in pain, and he did need painkillers, but everybody took it out of context.
Am I right in believing that Michael's life began to change from the moment he was severely burned doing the Pepsi commercial.
Yes.
In 1983, while making the commercial using fireworks, Michael Jackson's hair went up in flames. Did he talk to you about the effect that had upon him?
Yes, because it burned him so badly, his hair wouldn't grow back in the top of his head. And he didn't like that part of it.
So that's when he had to start wearing wigs.
Yes.
But it would be Michael Jackson's changing face that would attract the most attention. Did you feel your son overindulged in plastic surgery? Did
People might say he had overindulged in plastic surgery, but they don't know what went on before. Michael had a disease also, and the color of his skin was changing, vitiligo.
Were you worried he was having too much, though, facial reconstruction?
I don't know why people said he had too much. He did change, but not that much. He had his nose done, and that really changed, because that's the center of your face, and that'll change your looks.
Don't treat me like a criminal, as I am innocent.
For Katherine Jackson, the greatest challenges have been the persistent claims of child molestation.
Justice for Michael!
How did that impact the family?
It was hard on me because I knew all the time Michael didn't do it.
You had no doubt.
I had no doubt. I knew he didn't do it.
Did you ever ask him?
I didn't have to. We talked about it all the time. We talked about things. Both families lied.
Do you wish that Michael had not paid?
I wish he had, and I told him.
As a mother, that makes you angry, doesn't it?
Yes, it does make me angry because he looked guilty.
How do you feel about Wade Robson then?
Wade Robinson is lying through his teeth, and he know it. And anybody can say it that know it. Know Michael. Wade knows better. Wade just wants money. He knows better. He's from Australia, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he knows he's lying.
For his mother, there's been little relief from the devastation of losing her son. A loss also felt very deeply by Michael's daughter, Paris.
And I just wanted to say I love him so much.
It is reported that she tried to commit suicide. Is that true?
Then she might have. She didn't know how, maybe. I don't know. But yes, it is. But when Michael died, Paris was screaming and crying and saying, I want to go with you, Daddy. I don't want to live without you, and all these things. And I was feeling so bad for her.
Paris clearly has suffered very badly.
She did. She had to have his pictures everywhere in her room. Every picture that was hanging on the wall had to be Michael. And then finally she went to a life coach and they told her, take the pictures down. Because I guess she was suffering and we didn't know it. And she did.
In the Jackson family compound, Michael Jackson's childlike touches are everywhere. A shop that used to sell lollies and flowers. Whimsical quotes. And Michael's room, papered in pictures from his childhood, school days and career. It feels a little bit like Neverland. Was this the beginning of his thoughts of how to build Neverland?
Probably so, I don't know.
There was a studio over there.
Yes.
And now what did he perform in there?
He did Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. I think he did Billie Jean in there, wrote Billie Jean.
Oh, wow. For Katherine Jackson, this is a sanctuary, a place of calm amidst the chaos, where she can pause and remember the son she loved so dearly. Are there still questions you need answered?
There will always be questions hanging in the air that I would like the answer to, but I probably won't get it. But life goes on. But it's never going to be the same. And without my son, it's like having a ring and one diamond's missing. And you never can replace it.